Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Handhelds. I'm Joey, and today we're going to be looking at playing some Switch games on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro. The Retroid Pocket 4 Pro is a $199 Android-based handheld, and it can run a whole whack of different games. And a lot of them are retro-based, including the GameCube, Wii, and PlayStation 2, but it can also play a lot of Switch games. Not the more demanding ones or the usual Nintendo first-party ones, but if you can move past that, there's a lot that you can do on this. If you want one, check out the description. This came from Geek Buying, and if you're interested in the device, I'll leave a link to their store if you want to buy one. Let's dive in to showcase some games and maybe help you discover some new ones too. All of the games that I'm going to show today run well on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro, in handheld mode, and with high performance on. First up is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. This was developed by Vanillaware, and it was published by Atlas, and honestly this is just a fantastic game, with a great story. It's essentially visual novel style with occasional strategy battles, but it has a fantastic art style and great music and everything. Honestly, I loved playing through this game quite a bit a few months back. There's some dips during heavy battles and screen flashing, but other than that, it's a good experience. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp likely doesn't need an introduction, but it's a remake of the first two Advance Wars games. It's turn-based strategy with military units basically, so land, air, sea, troops, and all of that. This is a great way to play this remake, and it's nice and comfy here. Axiom Verge 2 is a sequel to the highly successful Metroidvania game, Axiom Verge. Same idea as before, it's a side-scroller, and like most Metroidvania games, it focuses on exploration and collecting power-ups and all of that sort of fun stuff. No shocker that it plays well here. Bayonetta likely needs no introduction, but it plays surprisingly well on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro. People looking for a combat-focused game with a cool soundtrack and style will love Bayonetta, and honestly it gives you a nice idea of just how far you can push the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro with Switch games, with the one single caveat that you need to set this to a 0.75x resolution for it to run at full speed. Blasphemous 2 is a sequel to the successful Blasphemous, which, once again, is a Metroidvania-style game, but it has a very unique art style and theme. It's blasphemous. Sorry, I had to. I had a lot of fun playing the first Blasphemous, or most of it at least, and this is just more of that. Highly suggest giving it a shot if you're looking for a Metroidvania-style game. Performance-wise, it's been in the 50s with 1x resolution, and you can probably bump it up a little bit more by dropping it to a 0.75x. For Zelda fans, Cadence of Hyrule is a fun game with an awesome soundtrack. But holy moly, the rhythm stuff is just not for me, and you're gonna see that while I'm playing. I think there's a way to turn that off and just play it like a Zelda game, but this is more than worth playing just because it has awesome remixes of Zelda soundtracks, and it's just more Zelda with a unique style. Chained Echoes is a fantastic game, and it's got awesome pixel art, and it's turn-based combat, which is my favorite. It's not random battles, you can see the enemies on screen, and the combat is actually super fun with overdrive meters and how it all works. It's a really long game too, and I highly recommend fans of RPGs to check it out. Cult of the Lamb is about a cute little lamb who gets absolutely violently murdered and needs to form a cult for a god. You thought it was a cute cult worshipping a lamb, didn't you? Well, it's not. It's pretty metal. It's roguelike, so you're going to die a lot, and as you go through the game, it plays really well, so enjoy. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but one of my favorite game series of all time is Danganronpa. This is a story-based game, so don't look up spoilers or anything. Go in blind, and because of that, I can't really tell you what it's about. It's a visual novel style with some walking around and mini games and things like that. But if you're at all familiar with Ace Attorney, it's very similar to that, in that you have a courtroom and you can do objections and things of that nature. You'll see. If there's one single game or series that you should take away from this list today, let it be Danganronpa. It's just so very good. Runs absolutely perfect here as well. Everybody knows Dave the Diver, and well, Dave the Diver plays great on this. For those unfamiliar, you help your friend's sushi restaurant by diving for fish and selling them at the restaurant. Plus, a whole bunch of other shenanigans occur. It has a great art style, great music, great gameplay, and it's really just the whole package. Play some Dave the Diver. It's fun. Look, I love Digimon. Big Digimon fan, and Digimon games are no exception. I might be one of the few people who likes Digimon Survive, and if you haven't played it, you should. It has a very adult style story, surprisingly. It's a visual novel style with turn-based battling, and that's right up all of my alleys. I love the story and the game, and I highly recommend it. You know what's a fun series? Dragon Quest. And Dragon Quest Monsters, the Dark Prince, is turn-based, my favorite, once again, and you can tame monsters and use them to battle. It's basically Pokemon, but with Dragon Quest, if that helps you. I haven't gotten a chance to dive deep into this game yet, but I'm excited to, and it looks like a great way to play on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro.
Done so soon? What did I say, kid? You're a notch. Next up, we'll try. All you have to do is hit a critter with a shot. You see,
Sadly, Three Houses doesn't play great, but Fire Emblem Engage does. Do we really need a description for Fire Emblem? It's a strategy RPG like Advanced Wars, but it's anime, and usually with a great story. Maybe not this one specifically, but the gameplay is still great, like all Fire Emblems are. Play more Fire Emblem, people. Come on.
To die here was ever your destiny.
Want to play some good old-fashioned Mario? Well, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe runs fantastic here. I am for sure not going to explain what a Mario game is, so just play it if you want. It's a good experience here. Ah, Persona. Persona is so good, and Persona 3 Portable is no exception. Another of my favorite game series available here on the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro. For those not familiar with Persona, it's a visual novel style with turn-based combat. Stop me if you've heard that before. And it has the best style for animations and music. The soundtracks for Persona just get you going in a way that no other games do. Persona 5 Royal is probably the best entry into the series now, just because of quality of life changes and all of that, but you can't go wrong with Persona 3 Portable.
I'm going. Have you seen the newspapers?
I know. People.
A game that came out of nowhere and ended up being extremely good is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And while it's not always a full 60 here, it's above 50 for most parts. It's a side-scrolling action-adventure game with Metroidvania-type elements, and there's a pattern of that, it seems, with all of the games I'm showing today. But it's a super fun game. Lots to do and explore, and it's rewarding. Highly recommend it. On the list of great games that I somehow still haven't finished, I'm sorry, Sea of Stars is a retro style RPG game that honestly is just comfort food to play. It's turn-based with a lot of cool skills and enemies that you fight, plus you can actively block and time things. The story itself isn't anything crazy, but it's enjoyable. Honestly, it's a super fun game. The South Park games are my guilty pleasure. I absolutely love Stick of Truth and the Fractured But Whole. And what's awesome is that the Stick of Truth plays great on the 4 Pro. I'm not even a massive South Park fan. I like the show, but I'm not a super fan, and even I get a lot out of these games. The turn-based combat is super fun, the exploring is great, and the story can get pretty wild.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Glad you have to wait your turn. Oh! That all you got? Oh my god, it sputters all over again. Okay, look. Try putting your back into it in the last possible moment. Ah! Ah! Try again.
Did you know that one of my favorite games of all time is Harvest Moon Back to Nature? And this is essentially, basically, sort of, just a remake of that, kind of. Well, now you do, and now you can also appreciate Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. It's honestly a remake of Friends of Mineral Town, but Friends of Mineral Town is very similar to Back to Nature, and you know what I mean. I have a cow costume, and I'm dressed like a cow. I don't know what else I need to say, but honestly, it's just Stardew Valley before Stardew Valley. So grow crops, befriend villagers, get animals, and just enjoy life. Super Mario 3D World runs decently well at 0.75x. It's not a full 60, but it's in that 50s range for most part. It's close enough to be put on this list, so I think that most would be able to enjoy it if you have no other way to play this awesome game. Super Mario RPG seems to play just fine as well, at least in the beginning here. I have doubts that it'll continue that way, and it might just need a resolution decrease as you get further, but it seems good enough to try. I'm not going to explain Super Mario RPG, so just go play it. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a remaster of the Tactics Ogre game, from way back when. It's a turn-based strategy RPG in the same way of a Final Fantasy Tactics. So that means it's very, very deep for strategy and for gameplay. Super fun, strategy RPGs are some of my favorite games and my favorite genre, so this is one of them. Game is great, gameplay is great, what more do you need?
Skills are units. That just autos. A conjurer, a son. You'll need a class mark in order to...
There's an Android port of this for Netflix users, but for everybody else, here's Shredder's Revenge, which is an awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. It's beat-em-up style, and you play as the Turtles. It's great, and it runs great. Give this game a try. Another awesome visual novel adventure game here, and that's Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And you get to do courtroom style battles again and detective work. If you haven't played any of the Ace Attorney games, highly recommend them, and this collection of games is a good start. Tunic is a cool Zelda-like game where you follow a fox as he goes through the world. But don't let the calm nature distract you. This game is really difficult, and the puzzles are sometimes really challenging. Well, not sometimes, it actually can be very difficult in some spots. Game is fantastic though, and it runs great here. Last on our list for today is Wargroove 2. By now I think you know my genre of game, and hey, look, it's another strategy RPG. What an absolute shocker. This is a good game. It's got a cool art style, nice follow-up to Wargroove, which surprised a lot of people by just being a good strategy RPG, and you have more of that here.
Madam? Oh!
And with that, I am done for today. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Support me on Patreon if you like my videos. Come join me on the Discord to chat about stuff. And hope you all have a good one.